Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have the Pantor 500 meter automatic diver, otherwise known as the Seal. So we're gonna open this thing up, look at all the features and functions, check out the build quality, and then I'll let you know what I think of this brand new diver from Pantor. Also, make sure you check out my Amazon shopping page for this and many of my other favorite watches. I'll make sure to put a link in the description field for you. So here you go, typical Pantor watch box. It has this real nice soft touch material. I'm not quite sure what this is, but it feels great. Really solidly built watch box. I love these watch boxes. So let's open this thing up, see what we get inside here. All right, looks like you get a warranty card. There you go. And a instruction card. These are real simple watches to operate. So there you go. And you also get, it looks like you can actually use this as kind of like a watch carrying case. So you have a spot for your Pantor if you want to put that in there, and another watch if you want to put another watch in there. Say you're going on a little mini vacation or a full-fledged vacation or an overnight trip somewhere or whatever. This is a great little watch box to carry two watches in. So there you go. All right, let's pull this thing out. Oh my God, I think I need a crane to lift this thing. Oh my God, this thing is heavy. So as usual, we'll go ahead and put up all the specs on the left-hand side of the screen. And there's a lot to go over with this thing, so buckle in. Anyway, here we go. You're looking at a 44 millimeter case. It's 17 millimeters thick. It's 53 millimeters lug to lug. It has a 24 millimeter bracelet. It's 500 meters water resistant, which of course is 1,640 feet. It does have a sapphire crystal. It has a Claro CL-888 movement in it. That's a Swiss movement with a 36-hour power reserve. Of course, it is windable and hackable. It has a signed screw-down crown over here at 3 o'clock. It has a unidirectional bezel that we will go over much more in detail here in a few minutes. It does have Superluminova BGW9 on the hands and indexes. It has a date down there at 4:30 and a helium valve up here at 10 o'clock. So guys, this is quite the watch. And when I say this is quite the watch, this thing is heavy. If this doesn't weigh a pound, I would be absolutely shocked. This is by far the biggest watch I have ever reviewed on Maverick Watch Reviews. This thing is massive. Massive might even be an understatement. This thing is galactic. It is just the biggest watch I've ever reviewed. It is huge. Now, I hate to do this so early in the review, but guys, I just cannot get into this watch. And there are so many different flaws, again, in my personal opinion, about this that you can't really use it as a legitimate dive watch. For a couple different, well, actually for quite a few different reasons. First, let's go over the good parts of the watch. And unfortunately, there are just not many of them. It does look tough. It's a tough looking watch. The dial is relatively cool. I mean, it's a nice looking dial, I guess. It's kind of that real dark black dial. You have some interesting shaped indexes. They're basically just all rectangles. The hands, I do like the hands a lot. Only problem is, where's the second hand? You can barely see it. So right now it's getting ready to pass right around 9 o'clock. You'll see it sweep past it there in just a second. And that's really the only way you know where the second hand is when it passes over either the 9, 3, or 6. And when it passes over your hour or minute hand. Otherwise, I have no idea where the second hand is, and it's pretty much kind of worthless to me, unfortunately. So that's one thing. The hour and minute hand, like I said, I like those a lot. Those are pretty cool. I like they're kind of a unique shape. Minimal writing on the dial. You have the Pantor logo at 12 o'clock. You have automatic and 500 meters down there at 6 o'clock. So there you go for the dial. Nothing, I mean, it's not going to win any design awards, but it's very functional and, very legible, minus that second hand being next to invisible. The bezel, here's one of the main drawbacks. This bezel is the absolute hardest bezel I have ever had to turn on a dive watch. So hard, in fact, that it really renders this watch useless as a legitimate diver. I mean, it is, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but this thing, there is no way anybody with any sort of dive gloves or any sort of gloves is going to be able to turn this bezel either out of the water, like I'm trying to do right now, or in the water. It is just ridiculously hard, provides no grip, no knurling, no coin edge bezel, no nothing to be able to turn this thing. So this is an absolute fail when it comes to bezels. Does it look cool? It absolutely looks cool, but as you can see, I have to get my nail right on the little indents right here to even think about turning it. It just doesn't turn any other way. So let's go ahead and line this thing up. So the bezel, while it looks really neat, is an absolute fail in this watch. All right, there we go. Another thing, let's look at the rest of the case. The rest of the case is basically all brushed areas. You do have a signed crown over here at 3 o'clock. Let's talk about the crown action. No discernible crown pop whatsoever with this watch. I had no idea that the crown just popped out right then. No clue. I guess it's just a weak spring possibly. I'm not sure. But the operation, the screwing in and unscrewing it is really smooth. I'll give Pantor some credit on that, but no crown pop at all. You pull it out. The segments to pull out are really kind of vague. You have to be really kind of careful when you pull it out. Like there is the date change, and then there is the hour and minute. And it's really there's no pop between the positions at all. So you really kind of have to be real gentle what you're doing there. Anyway, but screwing it in and unscrewing it's pretty good. So there you go. So we're going to screw that back in. It sounds a little bit kind of gravelly, like it probably needs just to be, those threads need to be kind of worn in over time, but pretty decent. Again, not going to win any awards for smoothest, but it's pretty decent. So there you go with the case. There's obviously your dive extension over here, your helium valve over here at 10 o'clock. That's pretty smooth as well. And it has a definite stop point, and it has a definite fully screwed in point. So that's pretty cool. The bracelet, the only thing about this bracelet is it's an absolute nightmare to put this on any sort of strap, because these are double screw in links. You need 2 screwdrivers to unscrew these links. You can see right there. And you need another flathead screwdriver on the other side. And that's the same with these big screw in screw bars or spring bars. And they're not even spring bars. They're just bars. They're just bars that you need a flathead screwdriver on each side. And it's doable. You can absolutely do it. It's just they made this so hard to be able to put this on a different strap. It's just not very user-friendly. Customers are going to want to put this on a different strap. One, because this bracelet weighs an absolute ton. And secondly, because they're going to want to put this on a strap, like a neoprene strap or a rubber strap, that's a lot lighter. And it's a hassle. It's an absolute hassle to change out the bracelet on this watch. There's another drawback. Also, this is a dive watch that's supposedly waterproof to 1,600 feet. There's no dive extension. I mean, how can you have a legitimate dive watch without a dive extension? And also, you only have 3, count them, 3 micro adjustments right there. So, I mean, the bracelet, I just don't think was very well thought out. It does have a nice little Pantor buckle, Pantor signed buckle. But, I mean, it's a big, chunky, clunky bracelet. And it just makes, it just adds to the overall weight of this thing. It makes it incredibly heavy on the wrist. I don't care if you're a big guy like myself, an average guy, a smaller guy. This thing is ridiculously heavy, folks. Ridiculously heavy. What else? The overall design, it's just, I mean, it's okay. But I kind of expected more from Pantor because their other watch, like I think it was the Sea Lion, that was actually a pretty decent watch. I would much prefer a Sea Lion over this. I really would. I think it's just a much better watch. They thought things out a little bit better. You can get them on a neoprene or a stainless steel bracelet. I like the design better. Again, these are not, neither this nor the Sea Lion are going to make, a ton of history so far as dive watches go. There's no revolutionary designs or features or functions, but I just think that Sea Lion was a much better design than this Seal. It's just so big. It just, unfortunately, it reminds me of one of those gaudy Invictas out there that, guys like to wear just to show off, hey, look, I can wear a dinner plate on my wrist for whatever reason. But it's just, I mean, it's a manly watch. Absolutely. It's very masculine looking, which I do like. But there's absolutely no need for this watch to be this heavy or big. Even with its waterproof rating to 500 meters, if it was better designed and better engineered, it would probably be half of this thickness. When you look at the fine Swiss brands, none of them are anywhere near this thick. And those are waterproof to 1,000 meters. I mean, you can get some of those watches, obviously like the Rolexes, the Deep Seas, and the Sea Dwellers, that are much more waterproof than this, and they're half of the thickness. So it's just a matter of having access to, better designers, better engineers to make this thing half as thick and half as heavy as it is. I mean, good God. I mean, I would expect for something like this, put this on a, it's going to be more expensive, but put it on a titanium bracelet. Make the case out of titanium. That's going to add to the cost, obviously. But good grief, this thing is just ridiculously heavy. So with all that, I guess I'm done, bitching about the watch now. I'm not impressed, guys. And I would really advise you to steer clear of this watch. I'm not even going to put it on my Amazon shopping channel. That's how much I dislike this watch. I think this watch is going to be for the guys that don't know anything about watches. That's who's going to snap this up, is some guy who just wants a big gaudy watch, doesn't know the first thing about dive watches or Pantor or anything like that, and he's going to want to slap it on his wrist, and he's not going to know that, watches should not be this heavy. Anyway, let me go ahead and put it on the wrist, give you a wrist shot anyway, and we'll go ahead and get a Loom shot here too. All right. Oh my God. I feel like I need to put this on some scaffolding or something. Put up some scaffolding around it. It's really heavy. All right, there we go. I mean, it looks okay. I mean, surprisingly enough, it fits great. But it's just so big and so heavy. Good God, man. All right. Let's check out the Loom on this thing. Let's kill the studio light. Let's kill the monitor. And let's take a look at the Loom. Now, if I remember correctly, the Loom is pretty decent. It's a little bit bright in here right now. I wish I could get a little bit darker for you, but it is a little bit bright. All right. There you go. I love the Loom. I love the Loom color. It's pretty bright, pretty cool. What do you think, buddy? You want to come take a look at the watch?
Yeah.
All right, come here. Tell me what you think of that color. What do you think?
I like it. It's blue and green.
Yeah, it's like a teal, isn't it?
That watch looks big.
It is big, Buster.
It's bigger than usual.
It is bigger than usual.
Can I hold it?
Yeah, well, here, why don't you put it down here and just feel how heavy it is. Here, keep your hand inside the frame so we can see your hand. See how heavy that is?
I might be exaggerating, but I feel like this thing weighs like a ton.
Yeah, I think it weighs a ton too, buddy. So there you go, man. Anyway, you heard it from the horse's mouth right there, Mr. Maverick himself. All right, so anyway, guys, that's really about it with this thing. Anyway, let's go ahead and zap it real quick. Before we do that, let's zap it real quick again with Loom. And let's take a look here. All right. Thank you, buddy. All right, there you go. There's the Loom again. Again, I like the color. I've always loved this teal color, kind of cobalt blue Loom. Citizen uses this color Loom anyway on a lot of their watches, and I actually prefer this over the green Lumibrite from Seiko. So I love this color. Not as bright as it should be. Well, it's also probably pretty dark in here. So there you go. Yeah, it's actually pretty bright. It's not too bad. I mean, it's super luminous, so it's decent Loom. So anyway, so there you go. So let's turn the light back on. And guys, that's really about it for this one. Again, I just can't recommend it because it's just so heavy. You can't see the second hand. It doesn't have a really good crown pop. The bracelet is incredibly heavy. No dive extension. The bezel, super hard to turn. I can't even recommend this watch, guys. And I hate to say that because I know somebody spent a lot of time designing this and that type of thing, but it's just, there are much, much, much better watches out there for the price. And I think this one is actually, they were selling it at $599 and they just reduced the price to $539. Even at $539, I think that's incredibly expensive for what you're getting. I could understand this thing about $200 less. Sell it for $349. But I think Pantor's got the price point wrong on this one as well. So anyway, take all that for what it's worth. Get one, don't get one. But anyway, guys, that's about it. Until the next review, I will see you later. Take care. Bye-bye.
I'm like, it was a